Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. Now for today's video, I wanted to talk about one of the more well-known deleted scenes from the second Jurassic Park movie. Now, many of you have probably already seen this footage in a TV version of the film or on an old DVD release. But if you somehow haven't, well then don't worry because it's on YouTube to check out for free, so there's really no reason not to watch it. The footage I'm referring to is of course the old InGen boardroom scene that would have played out at the beginning of the Lost World Jurassic Park. After the compies attack Kathy Bowman on Site B, yet still before we meet up with Ian Malcolm on the subway, we were originally supposed to get a very serious board meeting for the genetics company from Jurassic Park. The reason all of the suits were called together that day happened to be because of a pretty big lawsuit that the wealthy Bowmans were in the middle of pursuing InGen with. And it wasn't looking too good from their point of view. The scene would have been a relatively important 3 minutes that tells the audience just what exactly InGen's board members were experiencing after the events of the first movie. Basically, we were going to get a whole lot of exposition in the form of Peter Ludlow's compelling speech to the investors. So Ludlow starts to run through everything that's gone horribly wrong for the company in the last few years. This British family suing InGen is just the latest development in a long list of bad luck for them. It turns out that they've had to pay wrongful death settlements to the families of Donald Gennaro, Robert Muldoon, and Ray Arnold from JP1, and they weren't exactly cheap. This alone amounts to a pretty devastating $72 million in losses for the company before Jurassic Park was even open to the public. But unfortunately, their troubles weren't over just yet. Damaged and destroyed equipment on the island amounted to a further $17.3 million. And demolition, deconstruction, and disposal of all Isla Nublar facilities, organic and inorganic, wound up costing the company a whopping $126 million. That's a lot of money that went down the drain quick for these wealthy businessmen, and Peter Ludlow lets everybody know that he's not too proud of it. Now, before I go any further, I want to address that last bit of information that Ludlow tells the audience. The destruction of organic and inorganic facilities on Isla Nublar is something that took place in this version of the film when this scene is added back in. That means that after everybody left the island in the original movie, some InGen guys went back to the island and apparently demolished all of their own buildings and killed all of the dinosaurs because I guess they didn't want to use them anymore. In reality, I'm pretty sure this was done in order to give us an explanation as to why they didn't just go back to the first island to look for dinosaurs in the Lost World. But even with this scene added back into the movie, I kind of have a lot of questions surrounding why they thought it was such a good idea to kill off all of the animals that were supposed to help them turn a profit.
Demolition, deconstruction, and disposal of Isla Nublar facilities, organic and inorganic, $126 million.
Nevertheless, this scene is deleted from the film at the end of the day, and as such, isn't really canon in any sense of the word. In fact, it really can't be canon at all, because the T-Rex, Rexy, from the first Jurassic Park, is confirmed to have survived and been featured in both Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom. So yeah, this demolition stuff shouldn't really be taken seriously. Anyways, Ludlow goes on to tell his audience that he's fed up with watching the company bleed through the throat. For 4 years, they've let John Hammond sign their checks and spend their money with nothing to show for it. Meanwhile, they've held significant product assets that they've been attempting to hide from the public ever since the incident in '93. Ludlow tells them that they could have simply harvested those assets and displayed them for profit. Enormous profit. Enough profit to wipe out 4 years of lawsuits and damages entirely. The one and only thing that was holding them back from going to Isla Sorna and catching their cloned dinosaurs for a park on the mainland was a born-again naturalist who happened to be their own CEO. From here on out, we get a pretty cruel display of corporate ruthlessness where the younger businessman calls for his own uncle to be removed from the office of Chief Executive Officer effective immediately. A vote is held inside of the boardroom where members tally up the number of people who want to get rid of the old man. And sadly, every single hand in attendance goes up, some more reluctantly than others. The final shot we get is of the camera zooming in on Ludlow's own hand going up, and his selfish grin that goes along with it. Now, in my honest opinion, this is a truly fascinating deleted scene, and it's one of my personal favorites in the entire franchise. Arliss Howard gives a really great speech with some pretty haunting dialogue from David Koepp. This just captures the character of Peter Ludlow brilliantly. With this scene added back into the movie though, we don't get that awesome transition of the screaming mother turning into the sarcastic yawn from Malcolm on the subway. So that alone means it's gotta go in my book. Furthermore, I really never understood why the company had to go back to Nublar to kill all of their own dinosaurs for any other reason than in order to further the plot of Site B. But we don't have to know what happened to Nublar in order to go to the Lost World. The hunters were clearly after more animals than what was even on the original island in the first place. So going to a new location with a lot more dinosaurs makes enough sense as is. Compsognathus, Pachycephalosaurs, and oh, by the way, Stegosaurus wasn't on Isla Nublar at all in the original film. So yeah, Site B sounds like the place they need to go. I never really thought it was a big deal. Oh, but that doesn't mean that contemporary critics agreed with me at the time though, because as I already mentioned in my video on why Isla Nublar had to die, a lot of people thought that creating Site B was a bad idea in 1997. Nevertheless, this is a really great scene that I think a lot of fans in the franchise will love to watch as soon as they see it. I didn't even know it existed until I had to switch everything over to DVD in the mid-2000s, and when I saw it in the extra features, I was pretty excited to have new JP material to mull over. Not nearly as excited as I was to see Roland Timbo kick somebody's ass in a bar though. That's what should have been in the movie. Anyways, what do all of you guys think? Are you a fan of this deleted scene, or do you think it's ultimately kind of pointless? Whatever your feelings may be, I just want to say that I really think there is some fun stuff going on here that makes for a great scene, even if I don't think it's really necessary whatsoever. But hey, whatever your own thoughts and opinions are, I'd love to hear them in the comments down below. Now before I go, I'd like to thank all of my game wardens, as well as all of my InGen executives. I'd also like to thank all of my park workers and InGen hunters as well. Guys, it really means the world to me that you all continue to support what I do, and I seriously am extremely thankful for everything that you guys do to help. Honestly, it means the world. Now I'd like to thank you all for watching this video, and hope that you all enjoy today's content. If you feel like I deserve it, I'd appreciate the like and hope that you'll consider subscribing if you're interested in hearing from me again. I'll see you all in the next video, guys. And as always, take it easy.